Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Sorry it's been so long since I've done a video, but I've been researching. Me and my awesome partner, maybe, we've been doing a little bit of research, and I think we've came up with something here. So we all watched that video of, well, not all, but I'm assuming that a lot of you guys have, because I wouldn't have even have known about it if I didn't get a bunch of links in my comments of my video. So I checked it out, and the video of basically claiming that it's foolproof that NK was there because of the Vivint and Router events. So, you know, I admit when I first looked at it, I'm like, oh, wow, well, shoot. And it raised more doubt. And first of all, I just want to say that what I'm about to tell you has no, it's not about me not wanting NK there, because that's not, I want the truth. That's what I want. I want the truth. That's what I'm trying to find out. So if she was there, then she was there. If she wasn't, she wasn't. But for some reason, the more I look and analyze and dig, it just keeps coming up. No, every time. At least with the research I'm doing is showing that I cannot prove that she is there yet. From any concrete evidence of anything I've looked at is just nothing. It doesn't, I have a little bit of doubt because of who, you know, all her lies. I doubt it because of all the lies she's told. But as far as any proof or any, evidence, there is none. So this new thing that came out about the router info, you know, I was like, okay, this raises a little bit more doubt. But like a good detective that me and maybe we decided, you know what, let's double check this, because, you know, we don't, of course, I don't know this lady, so, you know, this is her work, but and she put this graph together, but I want to double check and make sure she's got all of her timings and all of her info correct. And, you know, if she does, then okay, wow, a little bit of doubt here. Let's look farther into it. But so I went back to my Weld County files, and it has all the router info. So here's the router information. So me and maybe kind of analyzed it and went through it all, and we found a few things. So I think you guys would be quite interested to see some of our findings. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so where to begin here? I think I'm going to start off by beginning with the biggest mistake. So that Vivint event that she mentioned in the video at 10:52. First of all, the time is wrong, and I'll show you here. It's actually at 8:52 that event takes place. So her whole theory on it being when Chris was talking to NK and he was putting in the code so he could go meet her, that throws that whole theory out the door, because it's not even the right time. See, it's at 8:52. 20:52 is 8:52. 10:52 would be 22:52 in military time. So yeah, so she's off on that time, so it doesn't even line up with the phone call at all. And just make sure you see the IP addresses, they match. So that's what she is talking about, that she kind of got the wrong time. It's the same IP address that she was saying was for 10:52, as you could see, when it really happened at 8:52. Same IP address. She's got it a little mixed up there on the time. Okay, let me go back and show you at 10:52 Sunday, where she said there was that Vivint event, and show you there's actually nothing at that time, because it was 8:52. She just got them mixed up, flipped around, or somehow mixed up. But see, you see right there, August 12th, the Sunday, it would be 22:52 would be 10:52. You see there's no events at that time, because it's actually at 8:52, like I showed you. Okay, so all we have is 3 days of the router information, and all 3 days at the exact same time at 8:52, remember it's not 10:52, but at 8:52, yeah, so at 8:52 that so-called Vivint putting, like Chris putting a code in because he was about to set the alarm or leave the house, isn't random at all. It happened 3 days in a row at 8:52. All 3 days, the same exact code right there, all 3 days. And then another thing that happened, I think it must kind of go along, something is syncing up. Okay, I'm pretty sure so I'm not the best with this technical kind of stuff and with the IP addresses and stuff, but me and Maybe really looked into it and we researched a lot. And then I even also asked my cousin, which is really good with this kind of stuff, and he said it's probably just an update, like a daily update or some kind of synchronization, because you'll see it synchronizes every day at the same time. So it could just be like a kind of an automatic update that happens every day. So it's not Chris putting a Vivint code in and leaving to me NK. That's not what it is. Like I said, it wasn't even the correct time, let alone, it's not random at all. It's a daily thing that happens. And then, not only that, it doesn't seem to be the Vivint IP address. And I'll show you why here. You could go back and look and you see the Vivint event that should have taken place when Shanann walked in the door with that Ring video footage. Right here in the discovery, it says it sends Chris a notification, Vivint notification. Now you go back and you look in her files and she has Vivint, you see, and it's blank. It's blank because it's just something that she had added in because she knew that Shanann got home at 1:48, so she just put in 1:48, Vivint, blank, there's no info. Shanann's entering into the house because there is no info on the router that she's going by, because if it was, we would see that code at 1:48 when the Vivint event, we know that the Vivint event occurred at 1:48 because we see it in Discovery. And she even has Vivint down there at 1:48, but you notice, where's that code at? If that's the Vivint, shouldn't it be the same code right there? It's because it's not in the router information. So I don't understand. Like, I feel like she should have known that knowing that there's no Vivint in the router at 1:48 when we know that Chris got that notification at 1:48 because Shanann got home. So right there is showing her that, and everybody else, that the Vivint isn't showing up in the router. It must be somewhere else that you have to find those notifications. It's pretty likely that that code is not the IP address for Vivint because of all the things we just discussed. It could be for any wireless device. I don't know for sure. I talked to my cousin, he's pretty good into computers and stuff, and also maybe did some research and found out about these IP addresses. I don't know why I keep saying codes. Sorry, these IP addresses and what they might be. So both of them, plus, what I read, we all kind of came to the same conclusion that it could be any wireless device. It could have been Vivint, I guess, but none of the other Vivint alerts and notifications and all that stuff show up here on the router. So there's a good chance that it's not the Vivint. So maybe it's his Mac, his laptop, I don't know, who knows? It could be anything. There's so much technology these days. They probably had so many devices. You never know. We know it isn't Shanann's iPad because there's a code for that. We know the code for that because it shows you the code for that, all the codes. So we know it's not that stuff, but it could be any of the other devices. They probably had a lot of devices. I think they had a MacBook. Did Chris have an iPad? It could have been his laptop. It could have been anything like that. But the fact is what I'm showing you is, number one, that it's not the same time. Her timing is all off, so it doesn't go along with the phone call. And number two, it happened 3 days in a row at the same exact time. The same IP address, the same event, which is likely an update. It's not random at all. And number three, none of the other Vivint events or alerts are on this router information. So all three of those together kind of ruin the chances that that was Chris putting in the code to go meet NK. Okay, so that's that. And then another thing I wanted to point out is, now this is a question because I could have overlooked this part, but as far as the codes that she has for Chris's phone and Shanann's phone, those aren't in the codes that from the files I have. It only gives you so many codes, and it doesn't have what Shanann's phone's code is and what Chris's phone's code is. So somehow she comes to the conclusion that this is Chris's IP address for his iPhone. So that's the address that's coming on when his iPhone is connecting and doing things. So I don't know how she came to that or how she got that information. And then Shanann, which that code doesn't even match up. That time, there's no code for that time. There's no event or nothing. There's nothing logged on for the time at 1:48, or she has an X, so it's around like when she comes in. So it was almost like she just assumed, oh, Shanann, this is her code for her IP address, and she would have got home around this time, so I'll just add it there, but it's not in the router information. I'm sorry, I probably annoyed some of you computer people by calling it a code, but I believe it's called an IP address. But that's besides the point. To me, it just looks like codes. But my point is I don't know. There's just wrong information, and like I said, the big reveal is all wrong. Sorry, guys. I know you want NK to be there so bad, and I'm not saying she wasn't there that morning. All I'm saying is that this does not prove that she was there. There's I feel like the biggest reveal was that Vivint thing that she said, oh, this is Vivint, it's the code, so he put in the code because he was leaving, and it wasn't even the right time. Doesn't even coincide with the phone call. And another thing I wanted to say, we don't even know if that's Chris's IP address or not. We don't know. Maybe she does know that. I don't know. It doesn't show it in my files. It doesn't say it, so I don't know if she knows. She's just guessing. I'm not sure. Maybe she does know. Maybe somehow she contacted somebody. Okay, so I'll get to maybe some of the possibilities of what that event is of the login, where it shows Chris's IP address or supposed Chris's IP address right after the Vivint event that isn't right because it's not the right time, so that just needs to be taken out. But those other events there with the router and then Chris's phone, I'll give you my thoughts on that, but first of all, I just want to explain how I don't even know for sure if I trust that is Chris's cell phone's IP address, and here's why. So the problem I'm having in believing that is actually Chris's cell phone, that is the activity after the so-called Vivint on her graph, like I said, even though it's not in the right spot. Okay, all I'm saying is I'm having trouble trusting the information if that really is Chris's cell phone, because the one that she has for Shanann's cell phone, the IP address she has for Shanann's cell phone, cannot be Shanann's cell phone unless somehow Shanann's cell phone mysteriously flew home before Shanann did Sunday night and made it there at 11:48. Maybe it took that flight that was canceled. Maybe they let the phones on. I'm just making a joke. But what I'm saying is it cannot be Shanann's phone, because how was it connecting to the router at their house at 11:48 p.m. on that Sunday when Shanann wasn't home? And also, it was connecting at 12:14 p.m. So it's Monday afternoon, it was connecting to the house's router. So how is that possible when it seemed like to all of us that Shanann's phone was turned off that whole time? And whether Chris had it or not, I think he had, it was at the house, yeah, but didn't they have to turn it on? So wasn't it turned off? But I mean, the bigger mystery is the one at 11:48 p.m. on Sunday when Shanann was in Arizona. Her being wrong about that IP address makes me doubt if that's even Chris's phone's IP address. That could be anything, any IP address. How do we know? It's not in the files. So she just assumed because of maybe some of the activity and just said, okay, this must be Chris's. But she was wrong about Shanann's, so could she be wrong about Chris's? Yes. And even if this is really Chris's, it's still, to me, the theory has holes in it. I mean, the theory is no theory without that Vivint event that she supposedly... The Vivint event, she said, is, oh, that's the event and then the codes. I mean, if that doesn't exist, because it's not even the right time, then everything else falls apart. But like I said, there's too many mistakes, and we don't even know if that's Chris's IP address. And then we see her adding things in there she's adding things from what she would know by kind of the story, and then the facts of the actual technology, the recordings, and she's adding them all together. So there's some things that are for sure things, and then there's some things that she's just adding and saying, oh, this is where this belongs. And I mean, you can't really do that. So let's just give her the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, that is Chris's phone's IP address. Well, just because it reconnected and connected doesn't mean that he left the house. Think about how many times your phone reconnects and connects from Wi-Fi. Mine does it all the time. And that doesn't necessarily, because I did talk to my my computer guy, and he said that it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a Wi-Fi connection. It could be like a computer connection. Like he could have plugged, and this was my theory, that if it is really Chris's phone and somehow she did know the IP address, then maybe he was on the phone with NK for an hour and 51 minutes and his phone was about to die. So maybe he was on the phone with NK. You talk for almost 2 hours, your phone is going to be low on charge, maybe it was about to die. And he turns on his computer, because maybe that router, the login right there, because we know it has nothing to do with the other, the event above it. It's not Vivint because it's not even the right time. So just take that 1052 out that says Vivint, because that's supposed to be at 852, so that doesn't even belong there. Okay, so here's another doubt that I'm having here. And I don't know for sure because I'm not good with this computer stuff, so I can't say for sure. But from what the files that I have and the router information that she's getting this information from, those events where it says used for secure logins and unassigned, those two router events that she has at 11:04 and 11:15, I'm not sure where she's getting the information where it said one is used for secure logins and one is for unassigned, because in the router information it doesn't say that. It just says those attacks, which if you look it up, and also my cousin said this too, that if you look that up, those are attacks. Like it could be like viruses attacking those. I mean, it doesn't seem to be what she was saying. But like I said, I don't know for sure because I don't know enough about it to say 100% sure. But from the research I have done, those don't even appear to be the login situations that she has labeled there. I don't know where she got that information, because that information isn't in the files that you get from Weld County. Unless if I overlook something, but the parts where it says that those events are used for secure logins and unassigned private, as you can see, the router information you do get from Weld County, it doesn't say that's what that is. But let's just say that that is what that is, okay? Because I can't say for sure, because I'm not, this isn't my expertise, but let's just say those are secure logins. We already know it's not the Vivint. It has nothing to do with Vivint. At least that Vivint event is at the wrong time. But let's just say, let's go with the rest of the theory, and those are some kind of login. So maybe the one that starts at 11:04, maybe that's him turning on his laptop used for secure logins. He logs in, it boots up or whatever. And maybe when he gets off the phone with NK, his phone's about to die. It needs charged. He plugs it into his laptop, which I'm doing right now. You plug it into your laptop to charge it, and it connects to the router by connecting to the computer. Does that make sense? So maybe that was the connect or reconnect, that it connected to that, and then he got, he was on his, he wanted to look up something on his laptop or his MacBook or whatever he has. He just So, I mean, maybe that's when he turned it on when he was talking to her because he knew he wanted to look up something. Or, like I said, he might not even have plugged in his phone. I mean, maybe it just reconnected. It was just a coincidence that, I know I don't believe in coincidences either. But what I'm saying is my phone reconnects and connects all the time. Maybe he got off with her, and I mean, I think maybe it is because he charged it and somehow, it reconnected somehow. But do you guys understand what I'm saying? When you plug your phone into the computer and then it links, you could like accept it. Like with iPhones, it'll say accept or deny. And most people just put accept. So maybe that was that connection that it made, that the router picked up. Even when you're plugged in to charge it, it does that. So, and most people just push allow. I guess my point on those events I just showed you is there's many explanations for it. There could be many explanations. Many reasons why that happened, why those events took place. So I don't have the answer to those. I'm just trying to show you that it doesn't necessarily mean the things she said, and plus pointing out some of the mistakes of the actual data and facts that were made. I think I covered everything I wanted to. And that's another thing. Whatever that was happening, if that was Chris's phone that she said reconnected and connected, right there, those two things, if that is his IP address and that is his phone, well, it happened again at 102 and 111. So why, I don't understand why she was only mentioning the certain things that were going with her narrative of what she was trying to say. So how do you explain it happening all the other times? Is it because our technologies are randomly reconnecting and updating, and that could even have been an update, maybe after you got off the phone, update. I mean, it could be anything, but our technology is constantly doing that without us even having to do anything. So why didn't, the fact that she didn't mention all the other times that it happened, I don't understand. You got to look at all of it, and it happened a lot. So was he leaving his house a bunch, or does it make more sense that when you walk around your house, sometimes there's areas that that make it unconnect. When I go down the basement, every time my phone goes off Wi-Fi and reconnects. So maybe you walk down the basement at the time. So yeah, maybe you just walk down the basement, walk back up, walk down and walk back up and reconnected. But if I were to guess, my guess is he turned on his laptop or he turned on a device and it was booting up and logged in and stuff. And like I said, my theory, maybe he plugged his phone into that device and it connected. Not sure 100% on that. We don't even know if that is Chris's phone, but she keeps saying, well, that means that he left. Okay, so we know that the 1052 thing doesn't belong there, but let's say we go with the rest of her theory. At 1104 and 1115, he's putting in the code for his door or whatever she meant, but then if he put in the code to leave and then he gets back at 11:20, why isn't there another code being put in to get back? It doesn't make sense. So if you're saying that it's because he's putting in codes because he's leaving to leave the door, then how? So are you, okay, either way this doesn't work. So if you're saying that he puts them in at 11:04 and 11:15, and then he leaves, he meets NK, and then he's back by 11:20, then where's the codes he has to put in to get back into the house? If he has to put him to leave, then he's going to have to put him to get back in, right? So that theory just doesn't work. And if you're saying he leaves at 11:04 and gets back at 11:15, that don't make sense either, because if he's going to get NK, and they're on the phone till 11:19, what, they're just talking on the phone as they're walking back together? So there's just nothing, this theory does not fit. Okay, so not only that the Vivint event is not even the right time, but even if you, like I said, you throw that out and you still say, well, what about those router, the secure login and everything? Well, her theory, it does. Do you see what I'm saying? You leave at 11:04, you're putting in codes, you're going out, or 11:04, 11:15, putting in codes to leave. Yeah, and then you come back and you don't have to put them to get back in. That's ridiculous. The most important part is getting in, not leaving. So if you have to put them to go out to secure your house when you leave, then you're sure in the heck going to have to put them in to get back in. So it doesn't go. It does not. I'm sorry. There's too many holes in this theory right here. even without the big mistake. But I mean, I feel like the biggest mistake where she, you know, the big reveal that everything is basically dependent on that big Vivint event doesn't even exist. So I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. I mean, well, no, I guess you guys didn't know. You just took for granted that the information that she was telling you was correct. And like I said, I don't know, purposely or not, it's not. And there's a few mistakes that she made here. And a really huge one, like I said, the Vivint one. It's not even Vivint, and it's at the wrong time. I'm sorry I keep repeating it, but it's huge. It's at 8:52, guys, and that would not even correlate with any timing. I know I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure you guys are understanding what I'm saying. So for those of you that already understand, that's fine. You know, you could click off. But like I said, it's not about me trying to prove anybody wrong. That's not. That's not what it's about. I want the truth. And I'm sorry if the truth doesn't point the way I want it to point, then it just doesn't point that way. And yeah, we don't know. NK could have been there that morning. And of course, we all have our doubts that, you know, maybe she was there, but I haven't seen any concrete proof yet. So, and that's why I'm not giving up on this case. I keep going through the evidence and the discovery files and just make sure we didn't miss something, but I haven't found that smoking gun, as you call it. So, like I said, I just hope you guys don't think it's because I just don't want her to be, or I'm on her side. I don't want her to be there. I mean, go look at some of my old videos. Like, I point out all her lies, and I have no dog in the fight for her being there or her not being there. What I do know is there was a lot of manipulation. Like, I guarantee that she manipulated the crap out of him, and I will agree to that. But as far as, I'm just the type that I can't say something. I don't know. I feel like I need proof. I need like some hard evidence, you know, to actually say yes and to blame somebody for something like this. Like, I need some hard evidence, and I just haven't seen it yet. But I'll keep searching. We all will keep searching. I know that. So, okay, so this is the end of this video. Sorry for my rambling. I know some people could, some of this stuff could get kind of confusing. Hopefully I didn't make it more confusing for you. I tried to say it over and over and show it over and over for some of you guys that weren't getting it right away. Because, you know, I've been going through this information for days, so I'm more familiar as far as you guys. If this is just, you're just presented with it in this video, then you might need to be shown it a couple times and told it a couple times to actually, you know, see what's going on. So sorry about the rambling for those of you who didn't need it, but there's a lot of little details, and I just wanted to make sure you guys were understanding what I was showing you. That's all. All right, guys, you guys all have a great night, and we'll be doing a live here shortly because I want to discuss this. I'm just not sure when I'll finish editing this and uploading it, so hopefully shortly after this is uploaded, whether it be the same night. If it's uploaded late, it won't be the same night, but if I get it uploaded early enough, it'll be the same day this comes out. Then hopefully we could do a live. If not, look for the day after. We'll discuss this in all live. And any guests want to come on, email me, please. I want to have some guests on, and you could discuss this. We could discuss other cases too if you want. But I would like to maybe see what you guys think about this. Okay, have a good day. Bye.